Hey, hey, hey. Time for another Out of This World story from rSpace. Trust is something so fragile. It only takes seconds for a foundation that took years to build, to crack, and break. Today on rSpace, how can we trust people at all or ever again? Let's discuss that. Up first, distance makes the heart grow apart? This OP's evidence walked right up to him. Today, my fiance's lover showed up at my apartment. Not sure if this is how you do this. I've never made a post before. But I, male, found out my fiance, female, of 2 years, has been cheating on me. For some background, I've been cheated on before, and all who can relate can say it's not something you want to go through again. Through the 2.5 years that we have been together, there has been 3 people who accused her of cheating, but not a single one could provide me with evidence. I'm the type of person who wants to have proof before verdict. I currently work out of town 6 hours away from where I live, where her and her brother live with me, and get to come home for a week every couple of months, so I always have an understandable worry when I'm at work. I was currently home, and when nobody was around, her ex, whom she cheated with, also one of the accusers of her cheating, knocked on my door. I answered, having no idea whom he was, and he told me everything and gave me some stuff she left in his truck. And she had told him we broke up recently and hooked up one time. I told him to stay in his truck until she arrived home, then both confronted her. She tried every tactic in the book to try and play dumb, even going as far as to say her friend told him all that stuff so it sounded real. But I had more evidence, then went inside and presented it, and she broke down saying it only happened one time because she felt like I was cheating and was lonely. I told her I was done, and I've been through this, and one time is enough for me, and told her to pack her crap and leave. She's unemployed and mooshes off me for everything, and she broke down more, saying she's sorry and she'll make it up to me, and it'll never happen again. But how do you gain that trust back? Like, I've put my life into this girl for the last couple of years. She broke down more after I said I don't want to hear it, then kept saying to give her a chance to prove she can change. She'll start going to therapy and seek couples therapy. At this point, as I see her laying asleep in my bed, I see nothing but disgust. Her brother had no idea what was going on, and he lives with us because they don't have other family to take care of him while he finishes his last year of high school. I just don't know if I can trust her ever again. And I've been through the try to commit suicide thing in the past, and I don't blame myself for their actions, but I don't want her to kill herself. Is there anything getting over knowing she cheated? In my mind, there's no doubt it was more than once. I'm not going to eat her out to everyone. I think that was supposed to say rat her out to everyone, because I'm not the person to spread stuff after a breakup, but I'm just lost on what to do. Update. Sorry it took a couple of days to update, but yesterday I found more proof on my old laptop where her phone's iCloud is linked to, and called her out on her BS. She's gone now and I'm moving on. I always trust my gut when they say it only happened once. Thank you all for your suggestions and kind comments. This is one situation I hate being in, and I would love to say it's the last, but I can't tell the future. Let's get a quick community comment from Quen Olag. Brother, the only thing she is sorry about is getting caught. Her only regrets are being caught. None of her tears are for you. They're all for herself. You take that trash out to the curb, and that's where it needs to stay. And the next time she mentions suicide or harming herself, you absolutely must call the police. They will put her in a psychiatric hold for 72 hours to evaluate her mental condition. Brother, you are strong. You deserve better. You got this. Yikes, OP. I'm sorry this happened to you. Not once, but twice. You do deserve better. It's hard to go into a relationship after being burned like that. I imagine it would be hard not to worry about what they might be doing while you're away with the past that you have. These disloyal people think they can get away with it. But we have to remember that each person is their own person. Try not to go into the next relationship with cynicism. Try to live in the present and give the next person a shot. Not everyone is out to hurt you. There's good people out there. The future is bright. What do you think? Should OP have dropped her right then and there? Do you need evidence to break up someone you suspect of cheating? Let us know in the comments below. Meanwhile, next up, a not so happy ending. You won't find this one covered by your average healthcare benefits. Found out my boyfriend has been getting happy endings. I'm 22 female and my boyfriend is 27 male. Everything has been great. I thought we have been together for 2 years, lived together for 1 year. My boyfriend gets weekly massages because he works construction, so he's sore all the time, which I'm fine with. It happened the other day. He was showering and his phone got a text, and I took a peek because I'm nosy like that. It was from a friend, and it said something like, Thanks for the recommendation. Loved the happy ending. I was confused what it meant, so I asked him once he was back. At first he was brushing it off as it was nothing, but I had Googled the term, so knew what it was. I kept at him to explain. Finally he admitted to getting a hand job at the end of his massages, but he said it was a normal thing for massages, and it's a natural end to release everything. I asked him why he would cheat on me, and I could give him all the hand jobs and sex he wants. He said it's not cheating since it's part of the whole massage routine. Plus, these women he doesn't really know and has no feelings. Also, he said I don't give him all the sex he needs. This made me feel bad because we only have sex if he initiates it, which is maybe once a week, I don't know. But I'm willing to do more. Anyway, we are fighting still and not speaking, and he's been gone for a while. Not sure what to do. If I'm making too big of a deal of this, it's not like he's screwing anyone. It's just a tug on his junk. Is it worth breaking up over? Then again, he never told me this was happening. Maybe he's doing other things behind my back. I'm so confused. Let's get some community opinions. Do Wagerer says, as a fully licensed massage therapist, a happy ending is not a normal massage. Those places that do the hand job ending are just a front for prostitution. Your boyfriend is seeing a prostitute weekly and is gaslighting you. Get out now, or he will be the only one of you that has a happy ending. Mitchie Pratt says, any sexual contact outside of the relationship is cheating. He knows it is, which is why he hid it from you. You need to decide for yourself if this is a level of betrayal you're willing to accept. If so, set boundaries. Are you willing to stay if he continues his weekly prostitution habit? You said you're willing to meet his sexual needs, but do you even know what they are? Have a conversation to find out why he'd rather pay for sex workers than communicate his needs to you. He may feel you aren't willing to meet his needs because you never initiate, so the assumption is that you don't have any needs of your own, or you don't need him to meet those needs. I personally don't think I would stay, but I do think it's important for any relationship to be on the same page when it comes to sex. So if you do leave, don't be afraid to have an honest communication with your partner about sex. Everyone needs to feel desired by their sexual partner, so whatever's holding you back from initiating, you should work on that. I know I gave you advice that seems like I could be blaming you. That is not the case at all. He's the one that stepped outside of his relationship. He's 100% at fault. He should have come to you with his problems. And again, I wouldn't put up with this. The OP replies, I think I'm going to leave. It made it sound even worse that you called it prostitution, which I guess it is. The Juicy Juice chimes in, so he's turning this all around by making you feel guilty. You know, they have happy ending massages for women too. So grab your purse, leave him a note telling him you've gone to get your own happy ending, then go to a friend's house. Come back a few hours later, looking relaxed and happy. See how much he likes the tables being turned. Edited to add, then pack up your bag and leave. Know your worth. I think there's facts in the comments. Anything outside of the relationship, including happy endings, is cheating. And to not tell you about it or be open and honest with you is an abuse of trust. If he didn't think it was a problem, and as normal as he claims it to be, he would have told you about it. This unearths so many more questions. What else is he hiding from you? If you're being physical and intimate with him, and he's clearly having physical interactions with other people, he's putting you in a very dangerous place. Update. First of all, I felt so incredibly stupid when I first found out about it. Not that he was getting them, but how I almost let him gaslight me into thinking it might be okay. I came to my senses and dumped his disgusting butt. I called my dad to come get me, so he picked me up after I packed a few things. My ex hadn't come back at that point, and I blocked him. He managed to message me on Instagram, the only social I forgot to block. He begged me to come back, pleaded. He said I still had some stuff to pick up and we could talk. He would change, everything he could think of. I ignored him for a few days, but I did have some things I wanted back. My brother agreed to come with me to get them if I wanted to, so I unblocked my ex to let him know I was coming over to get things. So that was something I didn't need to deal with. My brother waited outside for me. Of course, my ex was again begging me to stay with him, don't move out, etc. He loved me, blah, blah, blah. I got my stuff together and was ready to leave. I didn't want to discuss anything. When he realized nothing was working, he started getting angry. That's when he started to get nasty. He told me I was always a lousy lay, a dead fish, could never get him off. He said all those women he screwed were way better and worth all the money he spent. They all let him do it raw, something I would never do since I was a prude. I had never been so angry in my life. I was ready to beat this scumbag, but with all the control I could muster, I just went out the door without saying anything. He was still yelling at me from inside. My brother saw my reaction and heard the yelling. He asked if he should go inside. I so wanted him to, but thought it would not be worth it. That's the last I heard from him so far. Once I cooled down, I decided on what to do. Many of you suggested I report the massage place, so I did. I called the consumer complaint line and 311. Not sure what will happen. I emailed his HR to tell him he was using his health benefits for sexual services. Then I tracked down his friend's wife and messaged her the whole thing. She never replied, though. I did get tested, and after a few days, everything came back negative, so that's a relief. I'm staying with my dad for now, until I can get my own place. He said I could stay as long as needed. I'm going to swear off dating for a long time, I think. I feel numb about the whole thing. I thought I'd be more sad, but it shows how quickly feelings change. Let's get a quick community reaction. From Mini CMC. Good for you. By him getting angry like he did, it is more gaslighting and him showing you his true feelings. If he truly meant anything about working it out, he would never get angry. Plain and simple. I am extremely happy he was not able to take your strength and resilience away. The numb will wear off at some point, but that isn't to say you will feel more sad. You know he was not a good partner, and your heart and brain may not feel there is really anything to mourn. If anything, you have a bright future ahead of you. I'm sorry he said all those things to you, OP. That was uncalled for. Like the comment said, if he truly wanted to work it out and be with you, he wouldn't have gotten angry. I think the anger came from a place of realizing that you weren't going to be playing the pawn in his little games anymore. He won't have his little puppet to control and manipulate anymore. I'm glad you're out of there, OP. You won't have to worry about contracting whatever he catches. What do you think? Last up, sibling rivalry. A husband discovers he picked the wrong sister. Husband and sister texting. I don't even know if this counts as cheating. All I know is it hurt my feelings deeply, and I feel betrayed. To make a long story short, my husband and sister had an inappropriate conversation with each other. I always thought they viewed each other as siblings and never expected this. My family had an upcoming trip planned that my husband and I opted out last minute. This caused my sister to text him stating that she was sad he wasn't coming anymore and she would miss him. My husband's response to her was that he never knew she cared about him or liked him based on how she acted on a regular basis. She assured him that he did. He then asked her would she like him if things were different. She then told him if she wasn't with me, she would like him in that way. The conversation pretty much died there, and he told her to delete the messages, and they started talking about the trip again. He deleted his messages. She kept hers. A few weeks later, I announced my pregnancy, and she decided that night to confess to the conversation. I don't know what to think or how to feel. Were they testing the waters? Flirting gone a step too far? Since nothing really happened, I'm just lost on what to do. All I know is that there was some sort of attraction there that sparked the conversation. Definitely testing the waters and definitely way too inappropriate and disrespectful. Both of them clearly don't respect you enough to put their own feelings aside and stay within their boundaries. If they both cared about you at all, that conversation would never have even happened. It's an unspoken rule. You don't mess with friends' partners, and you don't mess with your siblings' partners. Shame on them both. I had a long talk with my husband last night. Wanted to know his reasoning and motivation behind the conversation. Does knowing the why make it more acceptable to me? No, not even a little. But it does give me a view into what he was thinking. His main driver for his behavior is being insecure and needing outside validation. My sister is very moody, often rude and closed off to everyone. His telling of his thoughts boiled down to needing to be liked. And even if it wasn't the appropriate kind of like, it still filled that itch. Just knowing that in some way she liked him. It's stupid, I know. So when she confirmed to him that she liked him regardless of how she meant it, it validated him. But once he got that, that's pretty much all he wanted from her. He wasn't interested in a sexual or deeper relationship. He was just happy knowing he's one of the people on her good side. It's a very immature and childish way of thinking. As for my sister, she has blocked all contact with me. Still don't understand why. Our parents are now aware of the situation. More disappointed in my husband, as bad behavior from my sister is common. All of my other sisters know as well. Ironically, this situation occurred right before my husband started individual counseling. The main reason for needing individual counseling is this type of behavior he displays. Some deep-rooted insecurities, mixed in with people-pleasing and the constant need for others' validation. So very on brand for him. Still unsure of the next steps, taking time to think things through. Let's see what the community thinks. Errant Traveler wants to say, betrayal never comes from your enemies, it comes from those you trust the most. This is the worst betrayal when it is your own sister and husband. They would and probably still would do something. Be cautious. What does he have to say about all this? There is one story on here. I've been looking for updates where the wife walks in on her husband and sister going at it in her kitchen, and they said it's not what it looks like. You should never have to worry about family. I'm sorry they put you through this. The OP replies, He said he got caught up in the conversation because he felt validated from what she said. He didn't elaborate on much else. I'm not even sure what to ask him. I don't know if he had ill intentions or what the case is. Next comment from Samaritan. Yes, it's cheating. It is definitely emotional cheating, yeah. And since it's between your husband and sister, it makes everything worse. I even believe she told you not because she cared for you, but because she is mad he got you pregnant and didn't choose her. From your story, it sounds like she was the one who pushed the emotional cheating more. I'm so sorry for you. A double betrayal with a close relative is a worse thing. Take care of you, find a therapist or a support system. You need people to support you. Do not care about them dealing with the consequences. Your mental health is what matters. You are the victim and need to heal. The comments are right. He was emotionally cheating on you at that point, and to acknowledge that he needs validation, he can't accept the validation that you provide by simply being with him and loving him. There's definitely something else going on here. He shouldn't be seeking anything outside of your relationship, and your sister is just rotten. I'm sorry she did this to you. Definitely remain no contact. There's no reason for her to be in your life when she sees how weak your husband is and knowingly stirs the pot. Thoughts? What would you do? Stay or go? Thank you for joining us today on rSpace. Be sure to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on our next video. We'd hate for you to miss it. Until next time.